So, earlier this month, American Express closed 3 of their personal cards to new applicants, being the Amex Everyday Preferred, and Cash Magnet cards. Existing holders of these cards can still use them with no change, you just won't be able to find them anymore on Amex's website or through referral links. Interestingly, these cards' designs were refreshed a little while ago, which suggested that a refresh to the card's features would be coming as well. I don't think that closing these cards to new applicants means that a refresh on the card's features isn't coming anymore. If you recall, in Amex's Q4 2023 earnings call, the CEO highlighted Amex's plans to refresh around 40 products globally. While these 3 cards certainly aren't the most popular in Amex's credit card portfolio, I still got very excited upon brainstorming what these refreshes might look like. A little nerdy, I know, but hey, lines up with the name of this channel. And so, in this video, I'll be sharing my predictions on how the Amex Everyday Preferred, and Cash Magnet cards will look once they are reintroduced to new applicants. We'll start with the Everyday card and how it looks in its current form for existing cardholders. Pretty simple. No annual fee, 2x membership reward points at US supermarkets on up to $6,000 in purchases per calendar year, 1x on everything else. And if you have 20 or more transactions in a monthly billing period, you'll get 20% more points on those purchases, making the multipliers 2.4x at US supermarkets and 1.2x on everything else. Alright, so the refreshed Amex Everyday card will have 30% more points for 30 or more transactions, 80% more for 100 or more transactions, free Centurion Lounge access for the whole of next month for 200 or more transactions. Hopefully, you guys haven't clicked off for the sheer ridiculousness of all of that. Okay, for real this time, I think that this type of earning structure is only suitable for people who intend to use the Everyday card as their sole card. And even then, ensuring that you hit 20 or more transactions each month can be a little bit of a headache without some automation like Amazon reloads. Plus, if you only want to use one card, I think that you value simplicity a lot, and I wouldn't say that this earning structure is particularly simple. On the other hand, if you like to maximize value across multiple cards, then you'll find significant opportunity cost by trying to hit those 20 or more transactions each month, as you'll lose out on better multipliers or spend towards a sign-up bonus that exists on other cards. I expect that the refreshed Everyday card will lean more into simplicity and thus better suit most people who prefer to use just one card. I'm thinking there'll still be no annual fee and 2x at US supermarkets on up to $6,000 in purchases per calendar year, but instead of 20% more points after 20 transactions in a month, we'll have additional 2x multipliers at US gas stations and select streaming services, which are other common everyday categories, both again on up to $6,000 in spend per year. Next up, the Everyday Preferred card. In its current form, for a $95 annual fee, you'll get 3x points at US supermarkets on up to $6,000 in purchases per calendar year, 2x at US gas stations, and 1x on everything else. And we're back at it again with the unique elevated earning structure, where if you make 30 or more transactions in a monthly billing period, you'll get 50% more points on those purchases, making the multipliers 4.5x at US supermarkets, 3x at US gas stations, and 1.5x on everything else. Again, suboptimal for people who want to use multiple credit cards, and cumbersome to manage for even some single credit card users. And so, again, we'll do away with that boost for 30 or more transactions and introduce some new multipliers. I think the 2x at US gas stations will stay, but the multiplier for US supermarkets will be increased to 4x. Also, 4x for select streaming services and 2x for transit, which includes trains, buses, taxis, rideshares, parking, tolls, etc. Those of you who are familiar with the multipliers on Amex's personal cashback cards, namely the Blue Cash Everyday and the Blue Cash Preferred, may sense some parallels here. Essentially, my refreshed Amex Everyday and Everyday Preferred cards have the same set of multipliers as those cashback cards, just scaled by a factor of 2/3. And of course, you earn Amex and membership reward points instead of cashback. That my predictions are a little boring is a fair statement, so let's see if we can realistically spice them up. A recent trend on Amex cards has been an increase to annual fees, along with more statement credits to serve as an offset. I wouldn't be surprised in the least bit if the refresh to the Amex Everyday Preferred card align with this trend. And so I'm predicting that the annual fee on the Everyday Preferred card will be increased from $95 to $150, which is what we saw on the Amex Delta Gold card when it got its refresh. Also, there will be a new digital entertainment credit, similar to the one that we currently see on the Amex Platinum card, and of course, it's gotta be in monthly increments. Let's go with $7 a month. If fully utilized, you'll realize a $66 effective annual fee on the card, which for 4x and 2x points in common everyday categories can make sense for a lot of people, especially if you're not fond of the recent refresh on the Amex Gold, but still want that 4x in US supermarkets. Finally, the Cash Magnet card, which in its current form offers 1.5% cash back on everything for no annual fee. Amex really doesn't need to get fancy on this one. There are so many other 2% cashback cards with no annual fee, such as the Citi Double Cash and Wells Fargo Active Cash. It's pretty much the industry standard, which Amex simply needs to match with its refresh on the Cash Magnet card. So, boring as may be, the catch-all multiplier on the Cash Magnet card will be bumped up from 1.5% to 2%. And there we have it. I'd love to hear about what you guys think on my predictions on how these three cards will be refreshed. Let's get a thumbs up if you agree, and let me hear it if you think I'm gravely mistaken. Also, if you enjoyed the video at least almost as much as I enjoyed making it, then consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. Here, you'll find many other fun and nerdy credit card videos like the one on screen, and subscribing is the easiest way to stay tuned for what's to come. Thanks so much for watching this one, and here's your card nerd signing off. Peace.